The healing of the daughter of the Canaanite woman is an example of how God never rejects a humble person. The psalmist says, Psalm number 50, the most read psalm, "A broken and humbled heart, O God, you will not despise." A broken and humbled heart. Jesus, on purpose in this incident, did not rush to answer the request of this woman that was chasing him and his disciples for a long time. They prompted the Canaanite woman to demonstrate the invaluable quality of the humility she had possessed. The humility is what was the reason that the healing of her daughter was granted to her. Humility in the Holy Bible is understood to mean a rare strength. It doesn't mean what our pop culture understands humility to mean. Our culture understands humility as a weakness or a feature or characteristics of a submissive and weak personality. That's not how the Holy Bible defines humility. Humility is the most powerful weapon that can guard, protect the soul against the powerful tricks of the cunning demons. Humility is the source that can allow us to generate fervent prayers, fervent tears. Humility is a fruit that is born from fearing God and respecting God. There is no way for humility to be produced when we have no fear of God or respect to Him. The presence of humility in the soul reminds the person with the ugly sins that were forgiven by the mercy of God. Humility inspires thankfulness for the deliverance that we received from God when He wiped out the consequences of our sins, when He wiped out all the residuals of our former sinful way of life. Humility inspires a ceaseless prayer, a continuous calling upon God to help us, as you saw in the example of this Canaanite woman. She was behind Jesus for hours, and He was not responding to her. Yet her humility made her not stop until she got what she was asking for. Humility prevents the person from falling into the delusion of self-confidence, into the delusion of the thoughts that tell us that we are more important than what we are. Humility produces gentleness within the soul. It puts an end to the insensitiveness, a stop to the wrong pulses that are within our soul that urges us, or the wrong urges of the human nature. Humility empowers the soul with the virtue of patience. It enables the person to withstand all kinds of hardship. Humility is born within the soul when the person offers a genuine confession for their sins. It produces gratitude for the gift of being saved by God from eternal damnation. Jesus delayed response to this woman to give her her wish, and his delay to act upon the request of his disciples, because his disciples were saying, "Come on, what are you waiting for? She's bothering us. She's behind us. She's chasing us." His delayed response was intentional to showcase this pagan woman, a woman that worshipped the idols and other gods. He showcased that woman that she was worthy of God's mercy. So whenever Jesus zooms on a person or a case, he is exhibiting something to the rest of the world, saying, here there is something that is worthy of paying attention. Jesus showcased this woman as an example to countless people over the centuries. Just try to imagine how many people over the centuries that were inspired by reading this section from the Holy Gospel, that learned about humility and learned about this woman. So he did not showcase her only to the people that were there. Over the centuries, countless number of people were and are and will be inspired by the example of this woman to learn about the power and the quality of humility, and to reject the notion of the pop culture that tries to give different understanding to the humility. The biblical humility is a very rare strength, and it only comes as a gift from God.